in something. The song is about you. Atlanta. Got it. Oh, yeah, nope. Oh, I don't even know what's there. See, this is why I don't do Zoom. Oh, taps it. Your microphone is unmuted. Chat, participants, reaction, share. Oh, but I got the circle of death. Why do I got the circle of death? What's going on here? Oh, running fingers along my screen. People be like, what's going on? Zoom, 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 zoom. I wonder if anybody remembers them commercials, zoom, zoom. Now, this is my normalcy. I got loud music outside. The wife decided she wanted to do some yard work. So I don't even know if it's too loud for people inside this Zoom, YouTube, Zoom, Zoom. I see there's one other person in here, but I also see it looks like I'm frozen. Yeah. So if this thing is doing a laggy lag, which it is, I think I'm not apparently gonna have Zoom. I think I'm just not gonna do Zoom. I don't know who's in here. Does it seem like really laggy, or is it just me? Because I mean, going through Zoom and then into YouTube is just going through a different streaming thing, so it's gonna lag a little bit. But if it's lagging too much, then it helps save me in the direction in which I go. Now I posted a link there, and I don't know if that's a link that somebody can come into or not. Yeah, see, like right now I'm frozen up again. Like it's like I'm stopped with my hand on my chin, but my hands are moving around. Yeah, see. Now, because I'm watching it myself, and it just looks like it's choppy. It doesn't look too good. It doesn't look too. I mean, the clarity's nice. I like the clarity. That's nice clarity. I don't know. Oh, is it just you in the room? It's just me and you. Why don't you come on? Click that link. Let's see if that thing works. I'm just practicing out this the Zoom YouTube thing and seeing how it works and whatnot, and like a description and direction and a path in life. So what better than what? Nope, not frozen. Yeah, it looks like it keeps getting choppy though. I mean, just to my perspective. Uh, but I mean, seeing as how it's just me and you, why don't you come on in? Hit the link. I want to see how this works. This is because I mean, like talking Tuesdays, I wrote some more on my little whiteboard, and then somebody had mentioned something about they wish I went on and read something about a passage from a book, and so I figured I'd come on here and do both and go over and just kind of like give a direction. But I'm just talking to myself in a sense, and then chat, cola marketing analysis, doing homework, a slideshow for Coca-Cola marketing analysis. Nice, not bad, not bad. Anyway, well, I guess it's just me and myself and my wife doing chores outside. Anyhow, this is Miners Madness on Kiwis Road. And we're looking at a new direction in the sense of trying to see how things kind of go. I bet you it's. I should have. I wonder if it's too late. Bet you that's why people know what. No one's on there. No one's on here. It's okay. It's all right. I bet if I changed it to a Forest Film, Kiwis Road, I better get some tags, which is probably true. But in a sense, that's the direction in which Kiwis Road is always a wandering. Now, it looks like I'm back to myself again, so I can't tell about the volume as far as the music in the background outside. So I'm just gonna have to assume it's either too loud or not loud enough, or that it sounds okay. And I'll just sit here and talk to myself, recording myself, talking to myself on Zoom Zoom. Uh, I mean, life in general. Um, and oh my Lanta, oh Big Daddy D. All right, let's see. Big Daddy D. Who's Big Daddy? Well, how's it going, Big Daddy D? Oh, there you go, Big Daddy D. That makes sense. I like it.
Yeah. What's going on? I've been
Not
hoping.
much.
So I thought I
Are
would
you?
just accept this for like 2 minutes so you can see that it works.
Yeah, we'll see.
You rotate my phone so everybody gets like a wide screen.
Yeah. And that's what I like about it being, widescreen versus the up and down like a lot of people do. Because, I'm just, so yeah, leave me connected and I'll just yammer yammer and like get your, okay, so yeah, so it comes up with you and then back to me and then back to you. So
Oh
I
yeah.
wonder if there's like a way to keep it so that everybody's on there at the same time, you know what I mean?
There is. You just have to choose the option. Easier said than done, right?
Well, the thing is, I'm on Zoom on my phone.
Yeah. I forget how to do it. I'm out of touch with the Zoom world after, 2-year hiatus.
Did you use it a while or no?
Yeah, so we always used it.
Oh, no kidding.
So we would do Zoom to OBS and then live stream from OBS to our YouTube channel.
Oh,
But you don't
really?
need that. You just need Zoom to your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Save the bandwidth.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because now, like I was trying to think earlier, is it going through two different servers now versus one versus before three?
Yeah, but
Because
what'll happen is it'll buffer. So there's the delay increases a little bit. So it's like a 20-second delay. So with the post processing, like your clarity and everything will be a lot clearer because it'll process through Zoom before it sends. It'll buffer and process through Zoom before it sends it to YouTube. So you'll have a higher quality live stream.
huh? So I'm gonna have to watch my last live one and then check this live one out and see
Yeah.
and watch how it goes. How's the
Yeah.
sound? I mean, the wife's outside. She decided she wanted to do yard work, so she started blaring music and doing yard work.
And yeah, it's fine. I hear it very faintly, not enough to make out what it is.
Okay, good. So it's not overbearing.
Not at all. Your wind chimes were worse.
All right, that's good. I like them. Wait a minute. What do you mean worse? Wind chimes are supposed to be a nice added
Louder,
sound,
louder. The wind
background sound
chimes
effect.
and birds in the background were louder.
Oh, so Cindy, she got this noise maker, just this little, sound box. and it sounds sweet. I walked in her office. I'm like, oh, what's that? What's that noise coming from? Oh, that sounds real nice. I'm like, can you get me one of those? She's like, okay.
Yeah.
Hi, baby.
All right. I'm gonna disconnect so I can get my homework done.
All right, you enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm gonna sit
Yeah,
here
I got
yammering onto
got like
myself, I
three more
guess.
PowerPoint slides to do, a quiz to do, and respond to like 2 or 3 discussion posts on the website.
So, what is it? Your Coca-Cola marketing analysis? What do you mean?
So basically, I have to go through. I have to write a big Word document that is 2,742 words, and summarizing or breaking down the marketing practices of Coca-Cola. And then I have to review that research and then create a PowerPoint slide, which can give them ways that they can understand their customer base a little bit better and refine their marketing strategy to be more profitable.
So, here's the thing. When you're done doing that, are you going to propose a marketing tip or no?
I have that summarized in 282 words.
Okay.
So I have all the information, and then next to last slide is the summary, and then the last slide is my references.
Okay.
So
Huh. So it's only 3 slides. Oh,
no,
that sounds so difficult.
15 slides total.
Yeah, there's a whole reason why I just fell away from school and stuff. I mean,
Right.
even in the service when they were like, "Yeah, do some school," and it's like, no.
So
I'm
what
just glad.
happened? So what happened was I was like, oh, I'm gonna put this off because I kind of had a headache earlier in the day, and I was like, I don't feel like doing this right now. I'll wait. I need to get started by 6 in order to get all this done. It's probably gonna take me 2, 3 hours. And so I was like, okay, the military's big on backwards planning, right? So I'm like, okay, let me do it at the last minute. That'll motivate me and take care of my ADHD. So I'm under the pressure of time. And then I opened it up and was like, wait a minute, where did this Word document come from? This is a game changer. It's like 3,000, almost 3,000 words, right? 2,700 and some words. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't plan on all that. So
Oh,
I got
Atlanta.
that part done. I'm on slide 11 right now.
Right on. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Let me know how at least the link sharing. Like I know how I can just go into Zoom on my tablet and share it the way I just did. So that's
I think it's very important, for people to dial in and help you out with that. Like
well.
it takes a
I
couple
noticed
times to
that.
get used to it.
Well, it's definitely going to be because I mean, there's the tablet, the phone, and then the computer. And most of the time, I'm just on my tablet and the phone. I'll use the computer if I have to go in there and try to set some other buttons and tabs and stuff like that. It's like too difficult. But I mean, as far as like talking Tuesdays, I'd like it to be able where people can click on a link and I know it'll work this way, the way I've just done it, so that I know it works. You know what I mean? Because I mean, that's what Talking Tuesdays is about, is in a sense, you know, briefly, in a controlled way, letting somebody else have a second or two to share a word or two, you know what I mean? And then I go
Mm-hmm.
back into my own banter.
It's good. I
Because
like
I
what
was
you're
thinking
doing.
about it. Huh?
That's how I like things you're doing. Not that that matters, but
Well, I mean, one person liking it, is better than just myself. So there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's just it's showing me directions in which to, because it's Kiwis Road. Just because it's Kiwis Road, I can create the road in the direction in which it goes. And I was thinking about it, like you were saying. Well, what do I want out of the Talking Tuesdays? And it's I mean, the Forrest Fenn thing itself was a time consumer, you know,
Mhm.
and so now that that's gone, there's plenty of other things that are time consumers. But I mean, I could create a time consumer that I can talk about every Tuesday, and I mean, it's something that can go on for the rest of my life, even if I wanted to go every day. You know what I mean? And have a different person on it would be uh, a crazy thing, But I think once a week, just like everybody else, just to filter through the stuff, because it's, yeah, here and there little things. But I got myself a nice little plan organized on my whiteboard, so it should be all right.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to let you go. So
All right, appreciate it. Good luck on your
stuff.
analyzing.
But I'll be listening.
All right, yeah, I'm just gonna go over a few things, and then yeah, at least I know it this works this way. There's somebody else jumped into the thing. I'm gonna see if they'll pop on.
Hope
And
so.
they're like,
All right. Later.
all right, we'll catch you later. So,
Maybe.
well, yeah, as soon as he hits the end button for himself, that's all right. I'm still staying here. See, voila, magic. I'm still here. So, just in case there's other people in the chat on YouTube, which it seems like there's somebody else, feel free to hit that link and come on in and chime in. Just sitting here trying to go over a few things. Direction in which Kiwis Road is going to be created and altered in a sense towards the future. As I was just discussing for good discussion later on, amongst others, is the direction in Talking Tuesday. And as I was mentioning that the Forrest Fenn to throw the chase, listening to a lot of the YouTube channels and a lot of searchers and everything, it helped a lot of people through some dark times to get their mind distracted, as I would hear from others. Um, the reality, the break from reality, and sometimes we all need a break from reality. Jason is the man, the myth, the legend, Big Daddy D. But yeah, hit that link. Come on, there, pirate. I'm gonna sit there and yammer just for a few seconds. I just testing this Zoom thing, YouTube thing out, seeing how it works with people coming in and out and leaving and whatnot. Discussion, in a sense, is part of my whiteboard of death. They got all kinds of different colors. It's all like the whole Zoom thing. Now, I guess there's a whiteboard that I could use on there, but I don't know. I still like my whiteboard, but I added, a bunch of different things, and I'm erasing some of it too as I'm touching it. I need to spray this down with some like polyurethane high gloss protective coating. You know what I mean? At least 8 times just to make sure it seals and doesn't smudge. But you'd be asking, well, what would Talking Tuesdays be about? What's the idea? What's it got to do with Forrest Fenn or anything? Doesn't even say Forrest Fenn. It just says Kiwis Road. But I mean, the title, in a sense, is kind of a giveaway. Now, not that anybody's going to be reading much of this or seeing much of this, participating much. Hopefully, they do, because it'd be cool. Somebody had reached out and asked me to read an excerpt or something from The Thrill of the Chase, and particularly about Tea with Olga. And for me, uh, there's page 15, uh, page, I think it's 125 of Fly Water, and then the epilogue, like the last, 125 of Fly Water, the epilogue, 147, like those 3 pages uh, would summarize the thrill of the chase for me, I guess. And Tea with Olga I think also eloquently summarizes the thrill of the chase. Um, and I say this because, like, last night on one of the YouTubers' channel, and it's sad, especially because of the disease that went around, kind of like depopulating the planet. Um, a lot of people have passed away, and it's a hard thing to deal with. And I, you know, count my blessings. I haven't had to deal with a hard loss. Hopefully, not anytime soon. Um, but the same thing with loss is a lot of people who were involved in the thrill of the chase. When the chest was found, a lot of people lost. Lost hope. Uh, Handful lost their lives. Um, God knows how many relationships were destroyed or created from the thrill of the chase. Such though, I guess you could say, how many relationships are created and destroyed by hobbies? Tea with Olga. I got root beer. Root beer tea with Olga. Oh, and in case I haven't said it and I forget, like I always, hi, welcome, thank you for stopping by to Miners Madness. This is James with Kiwi. Apparently, you can see Kiwi's not here; she is inside. Uh, Train Depot. There's a link on there for people who are stopping by or maybe catching up, catching in. Maybe they want to get on here and do a little yip yapping with me. And just a few questions I'd ask them. Uh, there's a link, so feel free to check it out because I'm trying to test this whole Zoom YouTube thing as far as the future for Kiwis Road because thinking about I have a plan, I have a cornerstone, an outline for what could last one Tuesday or many, many, many moons, as in like every Tuesday for the rest of my life. And it would be an interesting journey, I think, because there would be a handful of positive, I guess negative things that in life we all go through that I think would be beneficial to people sharing and whatnot. Yeah, see, like I'm watching myself on here, and it just seems like there's a lot of like drag and like, or I'm moving too fast or something. Maybe I should go nice and slow. Nice and slow, like a robot. I was saying I have a whiteboard so that people can, I have an outline. Anyway, so I'm giving somebody had asked me, or so there's like two things going on. The mention of death in people's lives and how the thrill of the chase either came in before or after the loss. I guess it boils down to the keywords of loss and that emotional family or life loss is a hard one. Like I said, I've been blessed and hopefully don't have to anytime shortly. But for those, our condolences. But that, in a sense, with the thrill of the chase, causing, for lack of a better word, my mental neurons to start processing a little bit better and faster and whatnot. So, oh, look at that, I'm shining. Oh, the sun's shining on me. It's gonna be a bright. Oh, look, I got light shining all over my face and stuff. I'm a bright guy going on. But so with T and Olga and with death, I think it's important to note on page 117 in the Thrill of the Chase. And it boils it down to I would think death and memories and how they're met. Oh my Lanta. This is what I got like all kinds of different shading stuff to try to help. I need to get sunshade over on this side. Oh my god. I can move inside. I move over like this, it'd be just as fun. But and it's the reason why Talking Tuesdays could go on for the rest of my life, because it's something beyond the thrill of the chase. Um, page 117. When my plane and I turned south for home, I felt a serene sense of warmth and satisfaction. Olga was at peace at last, and I suspect she may be having green tea with her father, and then time had taken them apart, but it eventually brought them back together again. Again, page 15, parts of Flywater 127, page 147 of the epilogue, and page 117 of Tea with Olga. For me, kind of sums up Forrest Fenn teaching something about life and death, about what we see and perceive now, here, and yet the possibilities of what could be impossible to see loved ones again, uh, great grand nephews, and great grandpas and moms, pas, brothers and sisters. Um, is it possible in time and memory and energy for that to be true? And I think that's a journey and a question that's definitely worth asking and wondering. And I think along Talking Tuesdays, I don't know, maybe some of that might or might not get answered, but we'll find out until, Talking Tuesdays no longer talking because we can't talk no more or something. Because it is beyond the thrill of the chase. I mean, part of the things he's telling you is he's shared his life stories, places he's been. And I mean, it kind of comes up to, uh, you know, the point and position I'm at with the thrill of the chase as far as like putting down points on a map and stuff. Is so the composition book. I'm like haven't been working on it like lately because I'm too busy trying to get house stuff situated and whatnot. Uh, and start singing. You can't hear the music. Wife's outside; she's doing laundry. But I'm gonna have to Talking Tuesdays. I'm gonna get a composition book so I can start compiling my Talking Tuesdays because there's points and interests, and if people come on and they hop on and click that link and join the Zoom and start yammering, I mean, part of the ideas would be part of the composition, and I think it would be a good thereafter is a good way to say it because uh, we already know that Forrest Fenn in the Thrill of the Chase has already been to certain states and to certain areas, locations along bridges and river banks and towns, etc. In the Thrill of the Chase, I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to do something about that next time. Don't you worry, people. I will put myself in darkness so that the light does shine. And just going through the Thrill of the Chase. No, I don't know what that meant, but don't mind me. But seriously though, like Lewis Lake. Oh, nice. So I mean, the idea is putting Forrest Fenn's stories from Thrill of the Chase in a book, trying to map that up so that the poem, I can then show how you can apply it to a general area and be able to surmise a good possible outcome. And because everybody's outcome from here on out is a good possible one, but we only know that one uh, possible one was verified, and chest was retrieved and sold, and pieces of it is out there for sale, some of it for giveaway. Uh, but then there's the question of this continuation of stories, which would make sense. Forrest Fenn wrote The Thrill of the Chase. Um, and I look at The Thrill of the Chase as 3 volumes. And TTOTC is volume 1. Not Far But Too Far to Walk would be volume 2. And Once Upon a While would be volume 3 of The Thrill of the Chase. And I think he admired and learned something to value, that instead of just creating these stories and stopping, it's possible and likely that why wouldn't you continue, I guess, in like a binder with sheets of paper with written notes and photographs, and continue relaying that message or story of your life in an updated or revised version of what I would think is The Thrill of the Chase. So I would think that Rumbling and Ramblings would be the same stories if it's repetitive, the ones that he would want to remember over and over again. So he kept writing them over and over again so that it's fresh. It's always fresh in his mind. I mean, that's how I would look at it in a sense. But I'm not even there yet. Like I said, I haven't. So I got done with like half of one state, or no, I got done with Montana. Get done with the map of Montana as far as places. The next place was Wyoming, marking circles down to where Forrest had been, according to the Thrill of the Chase. Colorado's hanging up right here. So, sorry, Coloradoans. But hey, Forrest Fenn drove through Colorado and whatnot. And then New Mexico, I haven't even. Most of that, I think, is going to be like one circle, which is Santa Fe. And then the mountain range there. So to see one journey laid out on a map would be interesting, and then seeing how R&R, or Rumbling and Ramblings, or Rambling and Rumblings, or however you want to pronounce it, 1.0 and 2.0, both of those I would do 2 separate reviews, and then add those, kind of like how they do like the old exploration maps, and they show like 8 different tracks going down the same track as different explorers, different times and stuff, because it'd be interesting. But beyond the thrill of the chase, beyond the chest being found, people still have bits and pieces that still mean a lot to them, and it should. I mean, it's something that people carry with them, is things that they do in life. I'm just like gonna, you know what? I'm just maybe we'll move over this way. Oh, they just totally get blinded by like, oh, what? We'll do it this way. We'll get a little comfier. Get that sun staying up there on the high hat. Do it that way. How's that? Is that a better view? Probably. I mean, that Kiwi view is that way anyway. I get the light and the sun glaring all over the place. Anyhow, I was thinking that with uh, Talking Tuesdays, it opens up, in a sense, it brings a little bit of a lot of searchers, if they're willing or wanting, in a sense, Um, just I don't know, but I mean, all this is for intents and purposes is for my mental and growth and whatnot, perspective of how people looked at the thrill of the chase. I mean, in a sense, this is like watching Survivor for me. Is watching the different YouTube channels, um, the societal gain or non-gain from different people in wherever they live or whatever they do, but in the things in which they're doing it. Oh, well, we got this one. You are mapping out everywhere Forrest said he went, but I think it's a good exercise. Are you trying to disprove 9 Mile Hole? Um, you shouldn't have to try too hard. So I know you are mapping out everywhere Forrest said he went, but I think it's a good exercise. It's not necessarily ruling out 9 Mile Hole or not. I mean, the whole point of the thrill of the chase was, could I find myself in the same spot as Forrest Fenn? And if I can answer that very simple question, then I have a 50-50 shot at finding a chest that Forrest Fenn had hid. Can that be argued? Probably. But my argument with that would be, if you place you in a place Forrest Fenn has not described within the thrill of the chase, then it would be impossible for him to have been in the same spot that you're looking, because he hadn't described it. Because for right now, all intents and purposes along this journey so far is, I did my thing, done my research, went through and got where I got and looked where I looked, etc. And now I'm just reiterating, in a sense, how I got to where I got and where I was searching and why I was searching. And a lot of people disagree and uh, uh, or may agree. Either way, it's still more plausible and more likely to be able to say that a person's area in which they were searching was more reasonable, because Forrest talked about that area either specifically or inspecifically or indirectly within the bounds of the thrill of the chase. At this point, we're still assuming that Forrest Fenn had passed away, in a sense. I mean, there's some spots where, yeah, I may have jumped outside the box for a minute or two. But I mean, along this journey, it's still within the box, within the thrill of the chase, locations, maps, and a poem. And how can I line up a poem to a bunch of maps? And the only way I can do that is to line up areas that Forrest Fenn had described him being, And I mean, it's hard enough with the thrill of the chase. It was hard enough for me with the thrill of the chase. But when I got Too Far to Walk and Once Upon a While, after reading the first few stories, the preface of Too Far to Walk spoke to me in a sense of Too Far to Walk, what Too Far to Walk meant. What line in the poem would best line up a story in Forrest Fenn's life would have been, for me, the preface in Too Far to Walk, where he talks about going down the 9 mile hole down, or not down the Madison River for about 9 miles or whatever. And then the second story would I think story 5 or so is River Bathing is Best, where Forrest Fenn talks about geothermal pools or whatever along, especially for him, the fire hole, where he would go and start bathing, and he would control the temperatures of the water, creating warm waters for bathing. And for us, it was, here's warm waters that's mixing with water coming down and two rivers, warm water flowing, creating the Madison River. So I mean, for us, those were bits and pieces, and for I guess Too Far to Walk and Once Upon a While would have been, in a sense, an added bonus to the Thrill of the Chase for us. Um, didn't really do much reading of Once Upon a While, and Too Far to Walk really didn't do much reading in that one either. Um, I ended up giving those two books away actually to a good couple met at Yellowstone. I hope they get some good reading out of it. Anyway, oh, what's chat still saying? My grammar's not good at all. So I mean, that's okay. Not a good hint though. Sorry, is a hint to something else. I think that's what it's hint to something else. But yeah, I mean, so that's just kind of the direction. But it's only going to go so far. You know, I can only describe the Thrill of the Chase so far, and I I could add in Too Far to Walk and Once Upon a While, but I don't have those books, and uh, you know, for me, I'm moving in a sense. I'm adding a layer or a different direction to this in a sense, and that's where the Talking Tuesdays comes in. It, see, I get distracted so easily. So easily. It's okay. Um, so Talking Tuesdays to continue beyond the Thrill of the Chase, past what people have lost as far as a lot of things, but maybe a place that I mean, there's all kinds of places people can still go and yammer on about, I guess, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Oh, yeah. See, I'm like rewatching myself on this, and it just looks like I'm just too choppy. Like it's like buffering too much. Like as if the shows I do on YouTube by itself live are better than what is being shown right now on uh, on YouTube right now. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but that's okay. But so we're talking Tuesdays. I mean, if anybody were to hop on, I mean, then it'd be I would only ask them a few questions, and it would be simple questions because I think it's a way of keeping it simple. But anyhow, I guess I'll just go over what like I kind of got from like a cornerstone, like a template for my Talking Tuesdays. Then I'm gonna go over today instead of Tuesday because I'm just checking out the whole like the Zoom thing and nobody else. There's a link on top here for the Zoom. Anybody feel like coming on and yammering, feel free to hit that link and come on in and yammer just for a few minutes or a second or an hour or whatever. As I try to go over what Talking Tuesdays is what's gonna come hither down the road, so to speak. That's if anybody wanted. But then again, I mean, it's not like there's much for me to talk about anyway. Oh, I'm like one of those. I'm a bad fisherman of compliments. I like to fish for compliments all the time. It's a bad trait to have. I'm trying to learn humility and try to learn keep my mouth shut more, I guess, so to speak. You know, try to be more elicitive in the sense. And that's like again, that's part of the Talking Tuesdays is through our life, through each week, each day. I mean, people have highs and lows, they have up and downs, and sometimes all they just want is just to talk to somebody about it for just a second, even if it's for just a second. Now, I'm definitely not no counselor. I need a lot of counseling. But on the other hand, I've also learned a thing or two from counselors, whatnot. And it's like, at the very least, somebody to have something to look forward to once a week. The chance to maybe just, jimmer jammer for a few minutes about their life, something good that's happened or something bad that's happened, or they need advice or something like that, or they're willing to give advice. I think it's a good opportunity, maybe a good little show to try to do so that uh, people may or may not learn something. And I think it's a good way to, I don't know. At the very least, it'll help me learn. And at the very least, it's a digital diary. So, I mean, hey, yeah, see, like right now, I'm frozen on the screen. See, I'm not, uh, I'm going to have to rewatch this YouTube video and see how it does. So I added a little bit more to my Talking Tuesdays uh, lineup or whatever, as far as like a structure. And so I'll bore you people right now. I want to get something to drink. Maybe give me some root beer. Yeah. What are you guys drinking? I need to start asking people what they're drinking. Huh? Who's got water? Who's got beer? What kind of beer? Who's drinking wine? Liquors? Who's drinking liquors? Who else are pop soda pops or soda cans or soda or pop, whichever you want to say it. Soda pop. What you guys drinking? See? Oh, look at that. Oh, somebody's hearting. Somebody's hearting me. Oh, look at that. Again, a lot of hearts right now. Oh, because I suck. No, I'm just kidding. All right, I'm gonna bore you some more. All right, you ready? Talking Tuesdays with Miners Madness. You know, and it's because people go crazy. People go crazy. The cornerstone of it's gonna be about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I'd be happy if the sun would not be like shining all over my face. Right. There. No. There we go. There. I'll just read it like this. Now I ain't got the sun in my face, blinding me in the eyeballs and skins and stuff and whatnot. So, as a cornerstone, we would talk about whoever's in the Zoom or in chat or Zoom chat. We talk about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, the stuff that we're doing throughout the week. We got the weekend. Like this weekend, we were doing some. I'm not sure what we were doing. My wife was out there doing some yard work, like right now. Oh, I was supposed to do sprinklers, and then somebody said something about, oh yeah, sprinklers today, tomorrow. Yeah, well, I ain't got done with the sprinklers yet, so I think I'm gonna do the sprinklers tomorrow, which is Monday, because I got dental on Tuesday. But for that person that said that I could do the sprinklers like later that day or the next day after that, I read that Olga thing. I'll reread that Olga thing later because it bears on this Talking Tuesdays, because this is beyond the thrill of the chase. What is there? People ask, at the very least, what is there beyond the thrill of the chase? What is there beyond a chest of gold and jewels inside the mountains that was hid by some artist dealer? Well, this could be one of those things. Is uh, interactive neural networking of people willing to do so. And so, at the very thing, for us, me and Kiwi, we like to go metal detecting and exploring. So, out of the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness that people have when they come with their stories, that's one of the things we would love to learn is somebody's history in a sense, and whether or not, family history or town history or Greek history, astrological history, I would say alien history, but it's I mean, if the things from space were brought to the planet to create the things that are on the planet, so that the things on the planet can go back out to space, I don't know. There's all kinds of different things. I mean, you got to admit that the planet Earth was created by the cosmos, and if we're created by the planet Earth, then hence we're created by the cosmos. So everything's a UFO, alien, and whatnot around my books. I mean, think about it right now. There's civilizations and countries that don't know what a plane is. They don't know what a helicopter is. So every time they see the planes flying over there, they, oh, hey, what's that? Oh, hey, the big bird up there, Gigantor, look like a pterodactyl. So I mean, nowadays the same thing holds true. I mean, just because there's things out there that we don't understand, their movement or their control, don't mean that they don't exist. That's weird stuff. So like talking Tuesdays, people good, or I, whoever, we talk about our past highs and lows throughout the week. But also like one of the things is excuse me, is like Kiwi, like I'm gonna create like a learning chart. Well, we already have a learning chart, but I've noticed that in me and Kiwi's interactions, I've been paying attention to the forming of words, actions to sentences as far as Kiwi. So I want to start, creating a board that shows that progression. You know, for lack of a better word, um, it's almost like she's an artificial intelligence, and I'm trying to like document her artificial intelligent learning in a sense. Does that make sense? No, no, it's crazy stuff. Don't worry about me. But I mean, the idea is I've been learning and understand, starting to understand and realize, people who have pets, cats, dogs, cows, horses, pigs, goats, elephants, whatever, birds, animals, just like humans, they have basic needs: food, hunger, water, shelter, love, affection. And so learning these trying to learn these basic communication things. I mean, yeah, cat comes up, starts rubbing up on you, and they want you to pet them, and they want that affection and love. They start meowing at you and start yelling at you, and they start like wait until you get closer, and then they're running off, and then they wait, run, because they try to tell you they're hungry. And these are the things with Kiwi that I'm trying to learn as far as evolving our sentences and our sign language and communication between me and her. So that would be something on Talking Tuesdays. Is something I would share, because that's, I mean, this is Kiwis Road. And this is part of her uh, progression, in a sense. So, and then like perspectives of the chase, perspectives of the thrill of the chase, on whether or not they've helped or hindered people throughout their journey. Because it'd be interesting, to see the perspectives of people on how they view the thrill of the chase, on whether they thought it was a bad thing or a good thing or neither thing and just something to do. Uh, I don't know. It's just always, these are just interesting things that, pique my interest from time to time. And then I would go over the coin giveaway, the force fin coin giveaway, that $5 gold piece from the thrill of the chase that somebody retrieved, obviously from the wilderness, and was able to be auctioned off. So I'll be giving an update as far as like at least the comment portion as far as that goes. And in case there's any new comments, had to go from the end of the month just down to Tuesdays, just have it in there. giving the count of what we're at and what we need and whatnot. See some action going on in the chat, so I'll stop right here for a second on my little itinerary list of talking Tuesdays. Let's see what's going on in here in chat. Spark plug. We got a laugh out loud from Spark plug. This is where it's at. Well, I mean, and somebody might come on. There's a link. Hit that link. Come on in. Let's yammer for a second or two. Talk about whatever. There's all kinds of stuff to talk about. If not, that's okay. I yammer to myself. Oh, the stupid thing got all kinds of things in my way. Earth and everything on it is alien to other planets. Certainly, that is for sure. This is just an agreed upon reality by the higher ups, and I would have to definitely agree with that one too. Kiwi's a super hybrid compared to thousands of years ago. Now, like Kiwi the bird, because like she's a cool bird. She's crazy. She's got such an attitude, especially towards mom, and it's really funny because nowadays. So here's the thing. So we've been practicing with Kiwi, allowing her to fly free within the house. And one of the things is she's learning to understand what doorways are, what glass doors are. So now she's flying from like, what is it? She just flew today from mom's office out into the hallway, down into our bedroom, and then into our bathroom where we and take showers. So she wanted to probably take a shower. No shower net. She likes to take a lot of baths. And just watching her fly, she'll fly and she'll see the doorway and she'll orientate herself and then she'll get down and she'll start flying out into the woods. So she's starting to pick up the navigation thing and the memory thing as far as her orientation inside the house. And I'm starting to just get her to go more fly towards her perch versus walking around on them. But mom sits there, says she'll come in the door or something, and her perch is off by the other end of the couch. And she'll sit there and walk around, and Kiwi starts to fly off of the perch at mom. So it's funny because, I mean, Kiwi is a female, and Kiwi has somehow we made a bond. It was, as you would say, meant to be type thing, you know. I was like, I was, in that roller coaster, and we were just about to hit the bottom and stuff, you know. And then along comes, excuse me, by the way, along comes the idea of, um, well, let's get a bird, and it was just right timing, right thing, and it all worked out just right for the right reasons. I wouldn't change a thing for the world. It's better to be a very hybrid or mixed than purebred. Thinking of illness, it affects purebred very much worse, which is interesting. You would think that, well, I guess if a purebred, if you're just breeding that short, yeah, versus mixing up the different attributes to prolong it and sustain. I guess it comes down to that survival of the fittest type thing then, huh? Oh, it says what year blah first hear about the chase and from where did you hear it? Oh, I heard about it in 2019. And from my friend Russ, a mining partner of mine. I had an incident, got like went into the hospital for the weekend to get some medication organized, and then I'm not sure if 3 days to sunrise happened before or after, but 3 days to sunrise happened after the weekend. But whether introduced us for the chase, it was like either January, February, March or April of 2019, and then had my place picked out May. Then we went out June. Oh my land, I gotta sneeze. I was told not to hold in sneezes because it sits there and all that blood pressure and all that internal pressure that was meant to be expelled from your body could sit there and make your face blow up and stuff. And I said I try not to internally sneeze, still doing it. So I apologize. I need to learn to just like look away, cover away, run away, achoo, blow myself back. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I don't know if that answers your question. In June, July, it was June, July, or August. One of those. We went out there, searched. It wasn't there. Then we went back out in September, and then went almost the entire stretch between like 9 Mile Hole down to the two bridges down right before Hebgen Lake. And then our third trip that was going to go out in 2020 would have been Madison Junction and the tip of the burnt arrowhead and the was it like the southwest side of Hebgen Lake. Gigantic arrowhead burnt into the national forest. Go figure. I was just saying that was a cool looking blaze if it was a blaze, because I mean a fire blaze. I mean an arrowhead burnt into a national forest, and then the tip's touching the river, but that tip's always changing due to the river meandering. So, but the before and after would have been the next spots that we were going to look. And I mean, like keeping it simple in a sense, kind of brings it back to my itinerary. Is that the Chase Marketplace? Like, if people wanted to share it, it's curiosity is the. Earlier, I was working on something called Project X. Well, Project X turned into now the Madison Project, which is part of Talking Tuesdays. And if you don't know what the Madison Project is, I'll tell you about it here in a second. So the Chase Marketplace is like, for like people, I'm curious, like the state that they chose to search in, and then like why did they feel the search in that state? And then I guess the third question would be is what story from the thrill of the chase, just the thrill of the chase, would have brought a person to that spot? And if they couldn't, then maybe within the 3 books of the thrill of the chase would have brought them to their spot. Then the next is the Chasetopia part of this whole thing is what are people doing now? And Talking Tuesdays gravitating away from the thrill of the chase, but more into general life living, everyday life living, highs and lows that people got to go through. We'll catch you later. Thanks for stopping by, Nomadic. Is what are people doing now through the thrill of the chase is over with their life? I mean, have they picked up new hobbies, new activities, etc.? Because out of curiosity, it's interesting to find out what other treasure hunters, if they're in other hunts, other treasure hunts or other history hunts. Because me and Kiwi, we love to hunt history. Which would bring me down to the last portion of that itinerary, which if people were, is places to hunt. Do people have good places to go, recommended? Do they know places that me and Kiwi could get permission to go and hunt? These types of things. And that would kind of like close out that whole thing, is that permission set, because we're sharing, and it's like part of that history is it's interesting to find out a little bit more. And I mean, there's people who wonder about their own property, you know what I mean? And just be interested to hunt history on their property and find out what they've got hidden away. And private properties are the ways to go. But I mean, there's always meteorite hunting out there, unless they're restricting that too nowadays. Oh, there was something else I was going to talk about, but I can't remember. Oh, it was a short train of digression. Oh, I said Talking Tuesdays and yeah, nope. Coins, nope. Talking Tuesdays, gravitating away from thrill the chase to hobbies and etc. Oh, it was important to, man. Gotta have, yeah. One thing, and I blame it on COVID, COVID brain, COVID, COVIDheimers is what I call it, COVIDheimers. When you forget things because your brain's all discombobulated. But it's something to do with about Talking Tuesdays and the gravitational portion of it, because it's life after death. What people do beyond a loss or something like that. And sometimes people just need a place to just vent, in a sense. Well, there's always good places for that to happen. I say that. But I mean, this is more so of learning about people's histories, trying to learn and teach those positive things that everybody's learning through life, so that somebody else can learn something positive, I guess. So that's what Talk Tuesdays is going towards. God, there's something good I wanted to say too about it. But yeah, I mean, it pours with like the thrill of the chase and Forrest talking about the tea with Olga. Time had taken them apart, but it eventually brought them back together again. And I think, in a sense, a Talking Tuesday would be something that, regardless of this, that, or the other, a positive thing to yammer about once a week, or try to find something positive to yammer about once a week would be just fine. The question is, though, like, what time of day would best suit a lot of people, if any? If not, then I just go on whenever, because that's just how we roll anyhow. There's no such thing as time. It's just a matter of what point the sun's at. How much light do you have before it goes dark? How much time or breath do you have before life goes dark? What have we done to benefit others? Before life has gone dark. I haven't done much to benefit anybody, and I'm barely doing enough to benefit me and my family. So, um, there's a lot of people out there, though, that have come through a lot of struggles, and it's not struggle comparison. It's not trauma comparison, or gratitude, or award comparison, but it's just finding balance in life between positive and negative, and sharing that, in a sense, so that I don't know, maybe somebody can benefit. Who knows? Chest sound. What? Okay. Start doing that. Wife coming around the corner, be like, "Hey, you trying to get monkey around here?" Thousands of years. Yeah, we are a mix of different, uh, just a bunch of different uh, genes of this, that, and the other thing. It's crazy. So yeah. No, anybody wanna? There's only a few people still in here. Anybody feel like yapping and yammering? Come on in. The Zoom is open. Like I said, this is just I'm testing to see the quality, the soundmanship, uh, the how the Zoom works with people if they come in and out versus on YouTube. And it'd be interesting to have people, willing to yammer along with me, so I'm not always talking to myself. But it's okay, if not, I got this guy, and he's awful quiet. Call him the silent man, the silent guy. So anybody want to in there that want to come in, feel free to come in. Oh yeah, so Dev, it was you. See, the thrill of the chase, the importance that, in a sense, I was reading that a section of it, because I just think, the whole thing, like, that last sentence, and I forgot it. But if you like, come on and I don't know, talk about it, about what you thought about that chapter, Tea with Olga. Um, Feel free to hit that Zoom at the top. Come on in, because like I said, I think there's a few stories in Thrill the Chase that hit solely and homely, I think, on life and death, the hereafter, whatnot. Oh, and then I just think that it's with time and space and life and death, we all have lost people. We all will lose people. Um, is it possible? Is it true? Is it a thing of we're all just energy? We're all made up of the same energy, where we all just we're trapped in our single energies are trapped in these bodies that are everybody's perspectives and then just released back into the whole energy. If that's the case, I would feel happier knowing what I've learned, that possibility of that being true is true. That uh, past, present, and future would meld together. Um, I mean, these are just metaphysical thoughts and aspirations, I guess. That I mean, why not? It's better than thinking of a dark place where there's like no light or nothing, and you can't like no. I mean, it sounds better than nothing. And learning a few things, not much, not much. I don't like reading. Like I was telling my wife, I was going through Juan de Oñete and the Last Conquistador, and I was going through the book, and I just started learning to read like this. I'll turn the page. I'll read like Life for Eric was just a rule of thumb anyway. It's philosophical about all. Then I'll turn the page. I'll just pick a sentence. Someday when it was raining, I went to Borders to see about because I mean this is the life story of Juan Dionyete. But to just pick a sentence, and I was trying to get the gist of it all, because I just don't like reading. Reading's just too much. It's too hard. Oh, somebody just and all right. Now people are like, this guy. Did he really just say reading is hard? Soak that in. This person said reading is hard. How hard is it to read? Well, for me, I mean, it's not hard to read for me. I just prefer not to read. Now, some people, it's hard to read, but it's the things like, um, especially imagination. If you say tree, what tree would any tree? Name a tree. Anybody in chat, name a tree. And that's the thing is, if somebody's writing a story and they say, well, the trees were blossoming and we went for a walk, blah, blah, blah. Man, I'm still stuck on what kind of trees blossoming. I mean, you got cherry trees. What other kind of trees? Pear trees or peach trees. So they blossom too, don't they? I don't know. What other blossoming trees are there? There's all kinds of trees blossoming. What time of year is it that would blossom? How many trees are there? Is there like a whole gaggle of trees out there? Or is it like just a few in a row? So, and that's just with the word tree. So that's why I prefer to watch movies and TV shows is because it takes up a lot of the guesswork out of what I'm trying to imagine somebody else. And that's why I never, growing up, high school, everything, I just, not much of a reader. I'd rather see it, hands on, got to see it type person. If you sit there and say a nail, there's different types of nails. You know what I mean? I can show you a bunch of nails right there. They're all different sizes. But they're actually rail spikes. They're just like a nail. I mean, a spike is a spike. They just use different ways and different reasons. Oh, hey, juniper, pine, birch, oak. Yeah, exactly. What kind of tree are we talking about that a couple's walking? You know what? I'm still lost. I'm still lost on the word tree. When I try to read. Huh. But yeah. So I mean, talking Tuesdays beyond the thrill of the chase, beyond life and death. It's a time consumer, something to do. That's what the thrill of the chase was for me, and maybe it might have been for you. Um, ooh, we're rhyming. We're poets, and we didn't even know it. But I mean, it's curious if this will take any traction. Um, it'll probably be called Talking Tuesdays, and it'll come up on Tuesdays. And I'm thinking, I mean, the wife's at work most of the day, and the evenings she's home. I mean, I could do evenings for most people. I mean, but I just go at any point in the day, just leave it up in the air. Like I can flip a coin. If it gets on heads, then that's the hour I go on, and the next one, and just keep flipping until I don't know. We'll see. Because there's different people on at different times, and why wouldn't I want to? If I can afford to be advantageous of my time to go live at any point in time, why not? Why not? It's all part of the show, right? Because then I can allow Talking Tuesdays to go on for as long as need be as a good time consumer for myself or for others in a sense. Mostly for myself. Not that I don't have a lot of stuff to already do, which I got plenty. I'm a man that prefers, I'm not lazy. I just really enjoy not doing anything. And I enjoy talking to myself, apparently. Uh, People realize that. And then they come and they see and they watch and they listen. And yep, they can walk away like, yep, that guy talks about himself a lot. That's him. That's Kiwis Road. Him and his 9 mile hole salt. Yep, that's him. Crazy bird. Crazy bird. It's okay. Madison man. It's all right. But everybody, uh, as they were either searching in an area that Forrest Fenn wrote about, or they were searching in an area that Forrest Fenn did not write about. And those are just some of the, playing devil's advocate, type things. But it's always still curious as to why people would have searched in areas that Forrest Fenn didn't describe being or visiting and stuff. Because I mean, there's all kinds of ways to interpret all kinds of things. Who doesn't like a good interpretation? This guy, unless it's sweet. If it's sweet, I'll drink a whole lot of interpretation. Grape Kool-Aid. We'll drink some of that grape Kool-Aid from the Fenn Fountain. Mm-hmm. The wife's all singing out there, and I can hear now. And the cat's up on the roof. And ain't there a fiddler somewhere too? Anyway, what happened on Zoom? New boom mic. I wouldn't mind hopping on Zoom soon, get my new boom mic. Well, when you do that, you get your new boom mic. Because like every Tuesdays, yeah, I'm thinking about it. Because it's think about it this way is in the search community, I've noticed that there was a lot of people talking, and then all of a sudden things happen. All of a sudden, kind of died down. People aren't talking to people, this and that and the other. And it's like, but you can pick up on some channels that there's still conversations going on beyond the thrill of the chase, which is the direction in which we're going towards too, because it's what have we found and what are we willing to do beyond the thrill of the chase that might make an interesting story in our lives or somebody else's life. I mean, shoot, to me this is interesting. I mean, I would have never thought of seeing myself, zooming or freezing up on a Zoom like this. Yeah, God, I got to rewatch this. It's driving me crazy. I mean, do I freeze up on you guys? Does it look like I freeze up? Like, is there all kinds of freezing? Like you call me ice cream man because I freeze so much on there. Place he knew since childhood, and I would definitely agree that Forrest Fenn had visited quite a few places, and some he held dear to his heart and mind. I think that when an opportunity arose, he was able to put, one train of thought onto a track of life where he's been and said, let's make this ride work. And in doing so, he was able to sit there and, to my perspective and opinion, and sit there and kind of just lay it out of like, this makes sense and how somebody could follow along, maybe get close. For him, and he had it supposedly, down to the point, the person who looks at this will have thought about it over and over and be precise to where they go. And a lot of people, I'm sure, were precise where they went, wouldn't have had to have grid searched an area for such a long time, which is interesting. I mean, work is work. You got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, know what? Maybe 3 or 4 seconds. You'd only come out for 3 or 4 seconds. You got to do 3 or 4 minutes. Just saying. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Oh, so and here's another thing: is this Talking Tuesdays? I'm gonna do a Talking Tuesday on Tuesday, and then let's see. So I'm gonna leave. Yeah, I can either wait. I can wait 3.5 months of nothing, or I could sit out there and East Coast doing Talking Tuesdays for a few months, which I might just do. Which means I have to get me a compilation book. Oh, composition book, a compilation of a comp. Now, now, all right. Somebody school me and educate me on the word, not composition, but when you're combining them, comba. Oh my, compile, compilation. No, any English majors or word knowers in here? No. Yeah, see, this is why I don't like to read, because then I have to learn what words are and stuff like that. It's like, no, hey, look, I see a tree, I see some fencing, I see a house, I see some knickknacks. I'm good. Yeah, no, that's all right. But anyway, and then so Talking Tuesdays is a direction Kiwis Road is going to be going and coming up, and I look forward to it. Anybody, feel free to chat in. I'm on here for a few more minutes. At the top of the chat, there's a little link. You can hit it and join. Oh, I wonder what happens if I. Is it still here? Let's see. I doubt it. Yeah, nope, I don't see it. Definitely not here. Oh, is this it? Oh, my Lanta. No, that ain't right. That's 797 words in that compilation of words and whatnot. Oh, you can't send that. We gotta take that out. Out, stop, back. Okay, so chat. Anything? Anything left in chat, people? You got anything? Yes? No? The sands of our lives are like hours in time. Or is it supposed to be the hours of our lives are like sands in time? I don't know. Who needs to watch the days of our lives? Right? Apparently I do. Anyhow, I hope this journey goes good, and I look forward to the ride. And if not, I'll just be repeating myself the same thing every Tuesday for the rest of my life. Oh my Lanta. How boring would that get? Then it become a good question though. It's like, is there a YouTuber who like goes on and talks about the same thing like every time they go on? Like every time they go on? Because sorry about that, but in a sense, with the Tuesday, every Tuesday, possibly for the rest of my life type thing, or at least, short time span, training this or doing that or adventure this or whatever, is leaving and shortening like all the things that I think people throughout time and history have been trying to sum up for the rest of their lives or life or hours. And it's time, well, lack thereof, and people and which way we do these actions with good, loving intentions or hateful, bad intentions um, in our interactions with people and stuff. Oh yeah, that's yeah. So Josh Gordon, angry conspiracy. Huh. I've watched some of his stuff. He's got an interesting perspective. Uh, I enjoyed his video of him driving alongside of the elk there, or moose, or caribou, or whatever he was driving alongside. Um, Hopefully, he was safe. Apparently, if he posted it. But yeah, interesting perspectives. And that's the thing, everybody has interesting perspectives. And that was one of the things about Project X way back when, is I was looking at it, is if there was easily over 1,000 searchers, or even 100,000 searchers, a person could go live every day. I mean, that's what 365 days a year. I mean, you could reach, say there was 350,000, that'd be 100 years. And there's more searches than what they're claiming, because no, I mean, people are quiet, secret on what you're doing. They don't want nobody to know. So they're like, shh, don't tell nobody I'm on the force then thing. But I mean, there's probably a lot of people out there who've been searching, just out of curiosity, just out of curiosity. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. Clue refer to nature, places, probably something lasting, of course. And so like that, I've always thought like stone structures or stone. I mean, nature, believe it or not, nature makes structures. Is that possible? Yeah, I mean, crystals are structured by nature. They're designed, they grow. With that being said, just throwing that out there. I mean, there's structures. I mean, uh, I would think something stone would have lasted longer than trees, um, but that's just me in my train of thought and thinking, and that's why where we were looking to searching. Hence, that's why we were looking at searching. But you never know; anything was possible. But yeah, those hints. We need the hints from the book, though. So many times. See, with Olga, it's the highest scoring chapter in TTOC to tell us something more second. Well, the chapters, yeah, but I don't know. It's interesting looking, because I would have for sure thought that Wyoming, but it's not to say that it's not. So over there, whoosh, I got some whiteboards. Those are the 4 states that have the chapters that Forrest Fenn mentions the state: Montana, Wyoming, and New Mexico. But that's just like the cover. You know what I mean? Like, oh, here, look at this. We have a chapter. This chapter mentions the state. But I think it's like within those chapters, that states or meanings, or there's areas that have meanings too. And so it'd be interesting to see, as far as Tea with Olga, what kind of meaning that would have for you in your search, in the direction you were going. Yeah, my book right here. I'll thrill the chase. Anybody want me to open up a page and do a little reading for you? Coming to you straight from Kiwis Road. Like I said, Kiwis Inside, where I teach you how to read. 2 is just a hint. But I just, you know, it was fun. The thrill, the chase, the book. You know what I mean? On a Friday night. I can't believe it either that nobody came out on a Friday night. But yeah, Room 101 wanted to know if I had my book. I got it right here. Was there something in particular you would like me to look at or read or whatnot? Let me know. Oh, but page 17 and show the picture 17. 17. 17. Mr. Fenn, the principal, that nice square looking jawed gentleman, that the picture must be. How you doing, Mr. Fenn, the principal? Irony of it calling it. And what son of a what? A bleep bleep. Another old lunch bucket woman. Her name was May. I knew her a little from the halls. She seemed happy enough with her way of barely getting by. But yeah, Mr. Fenn, the principal, he looks quite young for being a principal. Tell you that. First grade, senior school. That place and age. I don't know if anybody talks about that one. So here's my question: Why would the pitcher Forrest Fenn? What significance do you see or feel is there? Uh-huh. Let me ask that question. How you doing? Oh, bacon. Here, sit down. It's bacon. Bacon's good enough for me. Thick cut bacon, though. I don't like that thin cut stuff. I pull it up and you can see right through it, almost like it's skin. Ridiculous stuff. Gotta have some meat. Oh, page 31. Jumping around, page 31. The I posted. I thought I posted it. Scroll. I don't know if you scroll up to the top. I should have pinned the message. I wonder. Let me see if I can do that. Oh yeah, I can. You know why? Because I'm that good. Yeah, we'll do that. Oh man. They won't let me pin the message again. Oh. Oh what? 31. We're doing page 31. 1935. The Fens. Oh. Look at that. Is that the same pitch? Well, it almost looks like it definitely looks like the same outfit, but you can tell it's two different. Must have been his favorite outfit and tie. I only say that because, like, not that it mentions, but like, if you're looking at the picture with Mr. Finn, he's got the same jacket, the tie is the same design, but his shoulder, the youngin's shoulder next between his shoulder, there's too much of a space right there. I mean, and that was just something that kind of popped out, but it's interesting seeing that he's got a favorite wear that he likes to wear. Uh, yeah, well, see, that's what I was just saying is I don't think that picture is reused. I think it's a different picture, same clothes, just posing for a different picture because the the sun behind them isn't there anymore. Unless, do you think it is? Ooh. Oh, you know what? Oh, you know what? I think you might. Uh, and here's how I'm about to say. I think you're onto something there. Is if you look at shoulders, right? Yeah, that would be interesting. I mean, even looking at the hair. Oh, see this. All right, so this one picture has a piece of hair hanging out right there. Oh, yeah, got the hair crop picture out right there. Yeah. So as I was looking at this, seeing it now, like the way somebody's pointing out, it would be interesting. I mean, not that it would matter, and they probably reuse it just for sake to spread the information out. Is your shoulder? It almost has a constant slope. You know what I mean? It's sloping from your neck down. The shoulder, right? So in this picture, if you're looking at his shoulder, it's sloping down, right? Sloping down. But when you look at the proposed, uh, look at the shoulder. See how the shoulder slopes up? Now that looks like a Photoshop picture. I would agree with that because that just does not look right. Especially his stance, his stance that was showing down. I mean, unless he's bringing his arm up or something in a different photo, but I don't know. But that's interesting. That's cool stuff. See, that's cool stuff. Picking apart in the book, and just learning this stuff. And it makes you wonder. Because I mean, for me, I would think that maybe they just did it so that they had more bits and pieces because they only had a few bits and pieces to use. That they had to, chop it up maybe and use it in some sort of fashion or something. Hola, Tim's. How you doing? We're just sitting here yammering. I was hoping somebody come into the Zoom, but I ended up like not pinning the Zoom link, and then I went to go look for it, and the Zoom link dropped off. Yeah, we were just talking about Kiwis Road and the direction in our travels, and idea about coming on Tuesdays at any point in time, just kind of like a life update that people can chime in and give or not, or uh, um, you know, possibilities. It's beyond the thrill of the chase. And somebody asks, what do you want? What do you want to get out of it? And is it necessarily what I want to get out of it? People need to know. No, not really. But if it gets people talking about one thing or another in a positive way, that works for me. You know what I mean? So yeah. Uh, don't you think there? You see, I got this like heart thing that's sitting. This look, there's a heart thing right here. Uh, uh. See, as I'm frozen, I got a frozen with a bunch of hearts going off, sitting on my chat thing. I don't know how to get rid of it. And yeah, so it cuts off like the middle word. It's like I can't see that. It says, "Do you think THER?" And it's something. Oh, there was maybe I don't know picture of him as a principal. Don't you think there was a picture of him as a principal? Probably in the school book. Why wouldn't they have gone to the school book and gotten it? That would have been a good one. Um, a good question. Makes you wonder. Or were they just in a time crunch, just trying to throw some stuff together too? Maybe I don't know, but I mean, looking at that though, That's interesting. I mean, it just don't look right. It just doesn't look right. I mean, almost to a point of a smudginess, like a smudginess on there. Like it was a bad attempt. But then again, like I said, maybe he had his shoulder cocked up like this or something. He's taking a picture. I've got well, maybe yeah. I can see that. I can see that now. I wonder what the full picture looks like because you can see there's a slant coming down this side, but you can see that it doesn't necessarily uh, because I got my arm resting on my knee, which is bringing up my arm. So now if I had a nice clean straight suit, all proper, you know what I mean? You would see that the skin would make my jacket go up. If I was posing like, "Hey, I'm Principal. How you doing?" Yep. So now I'm having second thoughts about the second thoughts. I mean, it's like taking something out of context. It's hard to tell, but it does look like the same picture off of that other page for sure, which would be a coincidence. Why would they try to reuse the same page and whatnot? It is what it is. But yeah, so hopefully, I, talking Tuesdays. I mean, I could do Forrest Fenn talking Tuesdays or talking Tuesdays with Kiwi and Forrest. I mean, Forrest ain't even around, but he's around in my mind. How many people are gonna be like, "That's stupid"? Nah, it's not. That's how people live on. They live on in the minds of other people by the things that they do and say. I learned quite a bit that. Why not talk about Force and things that he's taught along the way? Or especially just how about other people talking about things that they learned along the way about life? Um, Especially, I think what I want, one of the goals or quests thereof of Talking Tuesdays is if at some point somebody were to actually click the link and they were, I mean, oh, yeah, let's try to word this appropriately. That at some point, if it's the right time and place, it's the right time and place for somebody to click. Because I mean, this is creating a memory. I mean, why not create a memory with a stranger, yammering about Forrest Fenn and just life and dealing with life issues and oh, hey, I had this problem with this or you know, uh, getting advice from people for whatever reasons, etc. Or giving advice, etc. I've noticed that in life, especially looking at the different societal things as far as the Western world and the Eastern world, is the family dynamics and how the Western world seen more tribalism and family dynamic to a perspective that I've seen. And then like the Western world, just that conquest and take everybody's just warring over everything on the Eastern world. And it's the breaking down of what I've seen as far as like the family dynamics and the family matrix. Um, when they when they're sitting there and they're taking families apart just off a basis of words and accusations. I mean, by design. I mean, that's by design. I mean, uh, so I mean, you have more broken homes and more broken families than you probably really ever had throughout history, I would think. But then again, I don't know much about marital history. I mean, that'd be a lot of crazy stuff to try to learn. You know what I mean? Oh, my Lanta. Oh, somebody wants to come in. Yeah, sure. Who is it? Come on in. Hello. Who that? Who there? Speak your name. Oh, or speak your name when you hit the who's and doozies and the whatchamacallits and the aftermath and whatnot. How's your evening going? Ish, kinda. Can it's like it sounds like you're talking to me from like down the hallway of like a 30-foot hallway, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just JBL speaker and it's way down over here. Let me go get it. Then I'll be closer.
Oh yes, yeah. See there. See, you got closer. Yeah, it makes a difference there. There you go.
All right, cool. I didn't think it was gonna pick it up there. So how are you doing tonight?
Pretty good yourself. Yourself.
I'm just hanging out, I guess. Everybody's
Well, I
gone. I'm here with just the dog.
Oh yeah. Which
Yeah.
one? Which dog?
So I have a yellow lab.
Ah, how old?
She's about 3. She's a pretty well trained dog. She's got lots of tricks, so she's kind of a crowd pleaser, so to speak.
You can't go wrong with a crowd pleaser at all.
Right. It's like you got your bird. I got a dog that hangs out with me.
Mm-hmm. So you said everybody's gone. What do you mean everybody's gone? Like is search community, family wise, family, kids, relatives, or?
Yeah, family wise, I usually have 4 or so around here, and they're all off doing their own things now. So I got 4 in college and 1 in high school.
There you go.
And the wifey's gone too. So
so some spare time.
I mowed the lawn and then started drinking. That's my day.
You can't go wrong with that. I was supposed to do the sprinklers today or yesterday, and it didn't happen. It rained today, so nope. Went to root beer.
Good deal.
So like as far as like forest fed and search stuff like that, like what was your state and like what story in the thrill of the chase or the 3 would have brought you to your area or your state or your general location? Out of curiosity, seeing as how.
So I started, it was 2018 when I got fired up. And I think I read it many years before, and I was like, there is no way. Then when it went by, like 3 years later, I was like, it still isn't solved. Maybe I'll take a look at this thing. And I didn't have the book. I just used the poem. And so I started considering what some of the things were. I actually went out the one time, and I can never find it back. I don't know who did it. There was one YouTube video out there of some guy going, I think, down the fire hole. And I was like, this is his heavy loads is like a trucking road or something. I said, there's no way this can possibly be right. I mean, it was just, to me, it seemed ludicrous that somebody would come up with that solve from the clues in the poem.
It's amazing. I mean, words have all kinds of different meanings, right? I mean, that's we can agree with that one. I mean, I was looking at heavy loads as like a couple bridges with a bunch of cars driving over it. Like it'd be kind of hard to remove 2 bridges where people only cross.
The problem that I always felt like with that is if it was something that was everywhere, you could find it anywhere. So it would lead to a million different places, which I agree with, it did. But then I started trying to consider what's something unique, and I'd rather not go into my actual clues or whatever, but I'd get made fun of. But but
no.
But I started looking for more unique things that I could maybe look at as fitting each clue.
And that's like one of the And just because it's devil advocacy month, day, it's always devil advocacy day. I mean, that's why I try to ask or keep in mind and try to keep it simple as to what was your state in a sense, and what in the thrill of the chase would have brought you to that state at the very least, not necessarily to a person's location. You know what I mean? Because everybody's got a state and everybody's got their logical or emotional reasons of what brought them there, and it'd be curious, to see what brought people to the places that they were looking. Was it a feeling that they had outside of Forrest Fenn talking about an area or something, or were people, so how would that apply to you?
Not for me. I didn't have the book. I had no state in mind. I'd never been out west, so it was like I didn't have any preconceived notions of anything. I read the poem and I started going through stuff, and I started trying to look for what I considered to be where warm waters halt, and then trying to go from there. And as I went, I was able to find the other clues as a good answer to each of the clues as I went. And it wasn't, I didn't go with any of them and say, as an example, I'm not saying I didn't look at this, but I didn't say it has to be a hot spring. I tried to stay very open with what the possibilities were.
Right.
And then I'd go and I'd take my next step and I'd look at it and say, okay, now can I find, is there something that would logically be a canyon down here? Is there logically put in below the home of Brown here? Is it logically that you could get to no place for the meat? And they did. They all were connected. They just moved along. It was one right after the other.
Nice.
There were no jumps. They all went right. They were all connected. I wouldn't say they were close, but they weren't, they weren't like in the 200 feet area or something. No, I even got down to, I could explain why the 200 feet, there would be a few, and 500 feet, there'd be quite a few that wouldn't necessarily be searchers. So it was a very easy connection there.
So a 200, 500 foot connection from your area to
Yes.
Okay, so now the tough question. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
The tough question is, within that 200 to 500 feet, has Forrest explained being in that area? It's a tough question. That was the toughest I had to ask myself.
Why would he be there?
Personally.
Are you looking for why he would be there?
No. Could you put Forrest in that spot? Has Forrest sat there and shared like a story or something about within that 500 foot of your area? You know what I mean?
I never heard him say a reason why. I did do some research and I was able to find a reason, but he never talked about it.
But at least you could say, hey, I was in 500 feet of his shadow, via this, point in time or something like that. Then yes.
Oh man, I don't know how to convey what I saw, but I could when I got to my final spot, there were things there that resembled a picture, a drawing in the book of The Thrill of the Chase.
Oh, wow.
And I just figured, I figured somebody beat me there and they set something up like it was just something that somebody else set up. But the more I thought about it, like the shit was heavy. I'm a pretty big dude and I couldn't have carried it in there.
Oh man, that's
so
crazy.
So then the stuff that was there, like it's not natural. Maybe it would be it is natural, but it's like you wouldn't see that stuff just regularly. It's not like it's not like a stop sign, something you see all over. It was there. There were. So I didn't think about any of this stuff when I was out looking. It wasn't until I saw it once and went back home and opened up the book and started going through it, and then I found several things that matched up. I mean, it was.
I don't
I don't want to put it out there publicly, but there are some really, there were things that just matched right up. And that's the frustrating part, I think, for everybody is they all got somewhere and they were able to find those things that to them meant something, and said, okay, this matches. I mean, from Bill thinking that a cowl of a car is out there, and that's something that he associated with it. Well, that's fine. You got Dave with I don't know, the cross or whatever. Everybody finds something that they he went back to superhero saying, well, I never left the book. I didn't go to all this external stuff. I just stayed right in the poem. And when I will say I got 8 out of 9 clues, and the 9th one I found on. That's all right. Go ahead and talk.
No.
More important than I am.
Then she just coming over here dancing and singing to me. I don't know the show. The shed breathe,
Instead of a she shed, you have a he shed.
Well, she's got a she house. She's got a tree house that she built.
Oh wow!
That she built. It's a 2-story split level tree house.
Sounds like what I probably live in.
And it's things like that we learn along our life in our like relationships and stuff like that. Is looking at it now is I should have been way better. I should have helped her more with the treehouse. I should have been more on board with her idea, more on board with her plan to make her heaven work and more feasible and quicker. And then, life would have gone on a lot smoother and easier, faster. But that's, lessons we learn in life,
So you want a little bit more?
Just real quick, I'm not sure. I would almost assume that you're on your phone or something, because the orientation. It sounds like you keep no, but I can tell that the way you're moving the phone, it keeps blocking the speaker port, and so you get muffled out, and then it's like all of a sudden he just went underwater and started talking.
Yeah. So just so you know, this is the first time I've ever called in on any of these things. I've never been on anything ever, except maybe parent-teacher conferences this way and at work, but it's not quite the same.
Well, if you think about it, this kind of is a parent-teacher conference because we're students of life and we're always learning, yeah? But we've also learned things in life so we could parent other people along the way. Helpful advice is always helpful advice. I try to do. But go ahead. You were saying.
What's that?
You were saying you were asking a question if I wanted to hear more on.
Oh, just things to think about, I guess.
Well, there's always things to think about, like
things that people haven't talked about before.
As far as the thrill of the chase?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you like, go ahead.
So I haven't heard anyone talk about this. They always talk about bells and jars.
Uh-huh.
He always says 8 bells. He always says 8 bells. He does. I think in one case he said that he had like 12 bells and jars, but it was jars included. It wasn't just bells. If he just talks about bells, it's 8 bells. Now, what time did he go to sleep at night when he was a kid?
Probably 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. What time did he get up after he retired?
The bells toll. Probably 8. I don't know.
He woke up at 7 and stayed in bed for an hour, and that's when he got rolled out, and then a half an hour to get to work. So 8 o'clock. What time when he was working that morning stuff? You remember? They actually said one time in the Bozeman articles, and another time in the later release of it, when he'd wake up in the morning and have to go, I think, to wash dishes, or no, the newspapers, probably the newspapers. It was. It started at 4:30. That was in the Bozeman, and then he said 4:45. Now, if you take 445 and rotate it 90 degrees, what do you got? 8 o'clock. He also
Didn't
has
he tell
one where
how
he
many
says
bells he hit in the
8.
book?
It's always, if he talks about just bells, he always says 8. So now can people take something? I mean, I don't know. That could just be a coincidence, but he doesn't say the same number of coins every time. He doesn't say the same weight of the chest every time. He doesn't say the same dimensions of the chest every time. He gets a lot of things that he mixes up the numbers for. That one is always correct every time. And I'll grant you, somebody will go out there and say, well, you said 8 bells this one time, but it was, or 10 or 12 bells or something this one time, but it's bells and jars. It wasn't just bells. Every time he just talks about bells, it's 8.
Well, now that makes me wonder if he wasn't just trying to get the word out there about one thing, but about multiple things to include the bells and jars. That's hard. I mean, hard trying to find a place that's visited, let alone where he's a chest. Now to looking for the jars where he definitely hit him a few feet underground.
Yeah.
It's like,
no, I think that was a clue. I don't think or a hint. I don't think that was necessarily trying to lead anybody to his bells. I think that was a hint.
No, well, here's the thing: is the question. The question would be: is it makes you wonder where would he probably have hidden these types of things? What type of time period? Obviously, he started casting at a certain age, so it would have been between his travels of after casting.
And I can't see the comments, so maybe somebody said something about, in this case, he said 8 bells or 10 bells or something, but I didn't find it. I went through an awful lot of stuff and I never found it.
Nah, there's like nobody ever in chat. If there are, they talk, but they're barely talking. There's nobody talking. It's just us.
All right.
I think there's only a couple people in there. Yeah,
well,
I'm not one of those interesting channels or anything. I'm just
I'm
just one of those person that's trying to find a common ground between a lot of people in a positive way, as a time consumer beyond the over chase. You know, that's, in a sense, kind of what Talking Tuesdays is going to be about is general conversation, just like this. You know, keeping it simple, learning something, teaching something. You know.
Yeah. Well, I got to say, your other you have a passion, I guess, for the people who are struggling mentally, and that's something that draws me to you. I've had bad stuff, you know, not myself. I've had 2 brothers pass, 2 sisters, my dad, a niece, and then my 20-year-old daughter passed last summer, and so it's really been a lot of stuff. And I don't mean to weigh anybody down. Everybody's got their story and everybody's got their stuff, but I'm just telling you, your show is meaningful to me because of the passion you have for that.
And that right there is like the sole purpose of Talking Tuesdays, is because if at the very least, you know, if there's something, you know, that hope of something, and I guess, you know, I don't know if you pay attention to the street, you know, just Forrest Fenn, the way he used his stories and the way he shared certain ones, it caused me myself to think, you know, and everybody has those down times, and it's how do you get out? How do you see past the clouds that are so thick? How do you start walking in water that is so deep? How do you climb that mountain that is so damn high? And as humans, when we find ourselves in a mental hole that seems so deep that you can almost sit on Satan's throne, that you tend to wonder and ask yourself these big life changing questions, and even to the meaning of life, the purpose of life, and stuff like that. The continuation to share the stories between you and the loved ones of who you've lost along the way. Those are stories that I wouldn't put a doubt on that will eventually, if not haven't already, help somebody else along the way. And if at the very least, the strength of, that you're showing of even just still, if that makes any sense. And it's those are the things that I think um, a lot of people could use just that little bit of, hey, you're not alone. You may be down, but the count's not over. And when it is, guess what? Hopefully, at the very least, we'll be seeing everybody drinking with Finn at the banquet table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or at least that's a good hope for a future anyway. And then if that doesn't work, then at the very least, I'll try to make this world that I'm living in, kind of like that place, so that if it doesn't work out that way, the memories are still good. That's a lot of people that you lost. That's with like 7 people.
Yeah. And that's, I mean,
What's the time frame? If you don't mind me asking, I don't mean to.
So I'm almost 50. I lost
Okay.
an older brother. He graduated in '79. I lost another brother he was younger than me in '93. Lost a sister in 2002. Lost another sister in 2018. Lost my dad in 2016. My niece was 2012 or 14. I mean, it's every few years. And then
Atlanta.
Then the unfortunate
So
was my brother last year.
if you could pick out one thing that you could describe that helps you get through every day, would there be something that could describe it and shoot out in words, or?
You're giving me like a therapy session here, so I might owe you some money.
Hey, Kiwi, I need you to get my receipt book, girl. So
no, what I focus on is I still have 5 kids that I need to be responsible for and help them through life. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to be an example that says when things get rough, give up. That's never been me. It's not me. My daughter was something that I think it still is extremely difficult. I just don't. It's extremely difficult.
Yeah.
Extremely. I never had to take any medications. Now I'm on all these fucking medications and they get me feeling screwy and stuff like that. But I tell them I want to get off and then I go back to a different place. That's even worse. So.
Yeah.
So the medicines are okay. They're helping, but it's my other excuse me. It's my other kids that keep me going.
They're your cornerstone now, your anchor.
Yeah.
Yeah. My wife she went to school for she got her bachelor's in criminal justice. She got her in social therapy.
Yeah.
So I paid attention to the last social work counselor I had. I seen him for a year, and one of the best, most impactful thing he ever told me was that you are the only that you are the only one that can impact the people your kids, your friends, your work. You are the only one that can impact the people the way that you can. And that's what makes you so unique and valuable, because there's so much potential that people have, positive or negative, that they can impact people's lives. And I'm hoping, sharing stories, life stories like this will help other people who feel that they're on the downside, or maybe they're on the upside and they can help somebody on the downside. Because I mean, we all have a brain and we all have mental problems, whether we want to admit it or not. I mean, a mental problem could be something like, I don't even know what shoe I want to wear today. That's a mental problem. Or you lose somebody that causes mental problems. Um, our brain is so powerful. It's just crazy how powerful our brain is. That I think one of the things I've learned best, unfortunately, growing up through life and reading stories, is that trauma, unfortunately, bad traumas bring more stronger ties than good traumas. Maybe I could be wrong, but I most likely am. But I mean, a trauma could be something good too. So I mean, the word itself is like a derogatory word I would use. Triggers too is another word my wife says don't use. But these are things that are every day. People, and it's hard when yeah. I'm just talking. Don't mind me. I'm like, you're probably like, dude, this guy needs to shut up so I can continue sharing my story.
No. Hey, I appreciate any wisdom you can pass along. I'm interested in the thrill of chase, but I'm more interested in life.
Yeah, and the search of happiness. How do you find that back? Especially when a piece of it's been taken away from you. How do you fill that void up when there's all different kinds of things: grief, animosity, hatred, all kinds of different things. But it's replacing it, that time consumer, the things that you used to do. How can you replace that time consumer with something positive? In memory, likewise, of even like our pets or something. Um, yeah. It, how do you make one day last forever, or how do you make forever last one day? Is like one of those goals that is behind Talking Tuesdays, because it's the repetitive things I think that we say and do that leaf. I'm not a tree. I'm not leafing yet, but that leaves that lasting impression. So that in instances we have something to fall back on, to bring back that empty spot with something positive. Crazy.
Yeah.
So what kind of hobbies are you doing now? Anything?
Hobby? Drinking.
Well, I mean, to each their own.
No, I like to play pool. I like to play pinball. I got some of that stuff, and we got lots of games around. I do a lot with my kids. My son's a decent athlete, so I go watch him and his stuff, and try to stay active with him.
What's he do?
My son?
Yeah.
So he's in high school.
You said athlete.
Yeah,
athlete, what sport?
He pitches.
Okay.
And he plays. So he's a big kid. He plays offensive lineman on football, and he's got good chance. I mean, there's some.
So is he gonna like use his pitching skills into the football skills, like Mahomes, or?
Well, I think he'd rather play football. The baseball is something he never did. They never let him pitch. He never pitched until he got to high school, varsity.
Oh,
And then they said, you throw really hard. Let's see if you can pitch. And he got up there and just threw smoke. So they're like, yeah, that's where we're going to put you. But he's also a really good first baseman.
I bet.
He's tall and long, so he can catch all those errant throws and stuff, you know.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, has he thought about trying to not be a Patrick Mahomes, but be a him and like
Oh yeah.
using the skills of pitching and throwing and becoming a quarterback or to stay in
No,
offensive line?
he's actually a pretty good quarterback. But I kid that when we were kids, or when he was just a little kid and went out to football, they took one look at me and said, okay, he's an offensive lineman. So I'm kind of a wide body.
There you go.
So
That's cool. Is he enjoying it?
oh, he loves it. Absolutely loves
That's awesome. That's awesome.
No, and my daughter was a Division I athlete. She was a star on her team. You know, she was going actually for social work. She had a 4.0. Hard to understand.
Oh wow. 4.0s aren't easy. Well,
no, work hard.
now I take that back. Nowadays it's easy if you got GPT, GTP, whichever
Chat
one of them.
GPT?
Yeah, that thing. Now you get 4.8s now. Shit,
Yeah.
they coming up with new scores. They got 5.0 grade now. I'll tell you what, like you're so smart. You should be teaching this class. It's crazy, electronics and technology.
Yeah. Yep.
You-
No,
so
we played around with that a little bit just for looking like trying to lose weight, menus and things like that. And it does a decent job of giving you stuff. So you can put in the parameters that you want. And it's pretty good.
Do you do any like outdoor activities or anything like that, or has life kind of gotten to that point where it's like life hasn't really brought back that luster?
So yeah, I mean, the luster is off a little bit, but I do. I mean, if you're asking me personally, I don't want to bore the other people that might be watching, but I do. I stay outside and bought my the farm I grew up on, and so we go back and we got a Caterpillar. We go out and push stuff around, and you know, excavators and skid steers and stuff. So we get out and run stuff.
Do you live near me so I can come by and help and have some fun too? I mean, that sounds like my kind of stuff. Now bring my metal detector. We'll swing it around. We'll see what we can find. We'll hunt some history.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's like part of Talking Tuesdays is getting permission across the country metal detecting places. It's a lot easier on private property than with all the other legal jargon mumbo jumbo from all the bureaucrats and education, political stuff, keeping people from exploration and stuff.
My grandpa bought an extra piece, I guess, to add onto our farm, and it used to have a church and a school and a little rectory. And so I have a metal detector, and nobody's ever looked there as far as I know, so I'm gonna go up and try to look around. You still there?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I just had to plug in the phone. It said I had 15%, which means I was dying. But have you gone down to your local I was just talking to my dad about it yesterday. Not historical archives, like town archives or city archives. Have you and looked at maps for your area?
Yeah, one of the things. So the town I grew up, I mean, we have, me and my brothers we've gone through, and like the town I grew up on, my the very first people that moved to the U.S. They were some of the initiators of the little town I grew up in. And they had like mercantile stores, and they had all this stuff, and we could go back and trace the ship they came over on, where they left from, you know, and what they did. We could get newspaper articles of what they were doing when, you know, my great grandpa was here or whatever. And, you know, you could see what everybody was doing, you know, he was an important person in town, and so we talk about him and stuff like that. So it's really cool.
Yeah. So what's the town years that it was established?
What's that?
What were the town years that it was established? The general area. 1900s, 1800s, 1850s, 1920s, 30s.
So about 1860.
1860. Okay.
That's when
Some
this
good
farm
years.
was in my family, and it's been there ever since.
Oh wow, you got some good ground then. That's
Yeah,
some really good ground. Farm ground is always good ground, especially in the U.S. because it's for lack of intensive purposes untouched, except for the spoils of man walking through. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, my dad used to find arrowheads all over. He would walk through the fields. He had a big box of them.
Oh my land, you are so making me jealous, my friend. This is ridiculous. It's supposed to be the other way around. So so you got the school location and everything, huh?
Oh yeah, we know exactly where everything's at.
Yeah, so you have to come back on chat at some point in time or back in Zoom on a Tuesday and let me know how that adventure goes.
Yeah,
And I know that those are
walking out of church.
Huh?
Maybe somebody dropped a coin walking out of church.
Well, that's so the schoolyard in the church is definitely always good places. I mean, they're passing the thing through the pews. I mean, especially if they were dirt floors. Dirt floor places are way better. And usually the older the place, the more, lack of a better word, dirtier they were.
Yeah.
So I mean, because as soon as you drop your coin on the ground, it's like buried in like 2 inches of dust from everybody walking around. It's like, oh, dang it. Whereas it drop it on a wood floor or something, it's like, oh, there it is. Unless it's got big slats in there, and it's like, oh, there it goes.
Yeah, I don't know if they're wood floor or not. The school is still standing. The school building is still standing. It was definitely a dirt floor.
Oh, really? Oh my Lanta.
So the church probably was, and the rectory probably was not. It was standing for a long time, but it's just weight of time. It's like everything.
Yeah, I wish I could be a fly of that word. That'd be interesting.
Well, I'll invite you up. You can help me. I don't know really much about running a metal detector. I've got one, and I was walking around trying to put stuff in the ground that I might be able to find. And I could find it when I knew where it was, but otherwise I didn't have much luck.
You ended up losing it, is what you're saying.
Right.
Well,
where's my white string go?
It's a good thing I put that big orange flag up right where I hit it.
Yeah.
I've tried that, and every machine and every device, they're all different, but in a sense, I guess they kind of work. But man, numbers, it's always hard to try to. That's why for me, I dig it all up. Because iron, a lot, depending on where you're at, as far as digging it all up, is picking and choosing. So like where you're at, 1860s, 1900s. I mean, that building's been there, probably ain't been used. I mean, I would dig everything up. Now, if that building was more modern, say, I would even past 1900s, 1920s, 1940s. You start to dig it all up, but after that, depending on where you're at, it's like 9 times out of 10, it just seems like most of the stuff you're gonna dig up is trash, And that's one of the reasons I tell my wife why I like hunting out in the desert. I mean, it's all dry land, nothing around, no humans, no civilization, so there shouldn't be nothing out there. But then you find something, it's like, holy cows! Oh, I gotta sneeze.
No, these were really old buildings. They actually quarried limestone from the bluffs that are around there. And so there's still a path through the forest of where they quarried the rock.
Oh,
dug out
wow.
pulling all those rocks down to build those buildings, that there's still you can follow the tracks kind of up through the limestone quarry.
Oh, wow. Yeah. But so here's the thing too, is now you have an established walkway, and you know they were sitting along the trees along that path taking a break. You know, if they had something in their pocket, it's falling out. So let's swing that metal detector along them trees, walking up that path, going to and from that quarry. I mean, I'd be surprised what you find.
I'll probably find a bunch of snuff cans or something that are nothing.
You probably find a lot of tobacco cans. Yeah, my email is inside my YouTube about page. You'll have to shoot me an email. Just put, Kiwis Road, Talking Tuesday Adventure or something like that. Not that it would probably ever happen, though. The opportunity, you never know, might happen. It's like if the invite's always there, it's better to have the invite than not to have the invite. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. You in the Kansas area?
No, we're over here in Idaho. But I got to go to Massachusetts, help out with my pops. He's a junk collector and trash collector. So he's got a lot of trash and junk he needs to get rid of. And he's like pushing 75 or something like that. And he's had a quadruple bypass like 2 years ago. And now he's got like some blockage in his blood vessels in the back of his brain or something like that, could cause him to have a stroke or something. So I'm going to go over there and help him out, clean out some of that stuff that to help his heaven now be a little bit organized for his wife, so that when something happens, at least it's a little bit better.
Yeah. Hopefully they get that figured out. There's a lot of amazing things they can do right now to help out.
They're doing medication right now. I was watching a video on it. There's like 3 things. You could put a medical device in there and pull the blockages out. It's like, that's crazy. But yeah. But I mean, even with that, it's like thinking basic and just kind of going basic in lifestyle is Nikola Tesla, I guess, says if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in sound, light, and vibration or something like that. And I would have to sum up, those are perfect words that I would use to sum up everything that I've learned so far in life and just other people's. We're all energy. And it's crazy how we use that power. It's amazing the things we can do.
Yep, it is. So, well, hey, I should probably let you get on with your program here.
Oh, no, that's. I think that's gonna be a wrap for tonight too. I mean, it was just I was wanting to test out and see how it works as far as Zoom and people coming on and off, and I'm really curious to watch the playback, because as I was been watching it, I see a lot of and it's like that I need around with so that it shows like it always shows like a panel view or something like that versus the back and forth. But yeah, I appreciate you coming on and sharing your life story, and your thoughts on Forrest Fenn and stuff. I appreciate it. I mean,
yeah, I know you've always been out there for a long time giving these things, so I knew you were kind of asking for somebody to jump on, so I thought I'd give it a shot.
I know it's always interesting, because I mean, at the very least, if I end up talking to myself, at least I can give me the answers I'm looking for. You know what I mean? So there's always a good side to a downside situation, and that's what I've learned about life is try to find the balance, because in life there's positive and negative things, and if there's something negative happening, there's got to be a positive to it somewhere. So, but yeah, I look forward to an email from you, and then like I said, as life goes on, stay in touch, hop a chat, throw something up there, and let us know how that hunting history goes, because we love hunting history.
We'll see. I'll probably find a door hinge or something, at least that.
We went down. I found a like a brass door knob. I still got it. Matter of fact, is it in here? Oh, no, it's not in here. But yeah, I kept it, man. It's like it's out in the middle of nowhere. It's like, why would there be a brass doorknob right here? It's crazy. That's why pick and choose and learn about the area, and learning about the area is what's nice about learning about history and stuff too.
And then try to explain it where it's at, huh?
Mm-hmm. Water. Closest, most stuff will be found near water. That's one of the things I learned and watch, notice. All your civilizations, everything's next to water.
Yep.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see some pictures of something. I mean, because as you can see, I mean, a lot of this stuff you see, well, except for like some of this stuff, like you probably don't even see down there. I got like jars of stuff that, I go out there finding the lead bullets and stuff. I like hunting lead because it's just an excuse to know. And that's what you find a lot is lead. Is collecting that stuff because it's all story, But with that, I guess I'll send the stream with it like that. Is keep calm, and I hope you treasure on and share some of those treasures. And I appreciate you coming on and yammering with me.
Okay,
It's been
really
fun.
nice. Yeah.
It was nice talking to you too, and you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Okay, you too. We'll see you, Kiwi.
All right. Later.
Bye.
Well, it's another person. Interesting. I like it. See, the flow of this is nice. Now, see, it's probably freezing the gut again up here on this video here. But yeah, it's amazing how close people can be brought together by traumas, however great or small, and also be able to learn from them in a way that it changes life perspectives. It's an amazing thing, and I appreciate every moment of it. So yeah, talking Tuesdays. This is kind of like what the direction I think is going to go in. Is just if people come on and yammer, we'll yammer about stuff, especially about hunting history, because that's one of the things that we like to do, and that is something that will continue, for a long while. And so with that, that's the direction we'll be going in. Wife's out there with a fire crackling, some water spraying, and music rolling, which means I need to get back to heaven. So with that, y'all keep calm and treasure on. I appreciate you stopping by, and we'll see you Tuesdays. And it'll be a while before I do any more Fenn stuff. Probably about 4 months or so. And yeah, I got busy for this. Talking Tuesdays is what it's going to be about, I think. I need to figure a few more things out with the Zoomy Zoom. And so I am going to sit there and say I hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening or night or morning, whatever time of day it is, the sun's shining or setting. And keep calm and treasure on. And we'll see you guys on the flip side. Good evening. As the cookie crumbles. Adios, muchachos. Okay, we're going to end meeting for